7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
Yeah.
That's ready to start?
That's it, yeah.
Wow.
Waited,
On the dot, huh?
waited until 7 o'clock. Can't get started before that, just in case some of the butter wanted to show up.
Alright.
Was planning on being here right at 7.
Yep.
Everything is here.
She's the cause of all the trouble. She needs to be here.
Agenda. I mean, we have 2 cases on the agenda this evening, and also minutes from the last meeting. We'll forego the minutes and we'll go right to the first hearing. And let the record show that we have 3 regular members and 2 alternates here. As you'll be voting.
Oh, exciting! It's my
alternate.
first time.
Right. So, and let's see, so the case is case number 2026-2, special exception. And let's see, the application involves tax map 230, lot 8, located at 333 Hackleboro Road. It's located in the rural zone, and the proposed use states short-term rental. The application references Article 2, Section 11, which I note is the lodging short-term, which I'm assuming that's going to be meaning the same thing.
I would hope so.
So that's what we'll do is we'll have you tell us what you want to do. If there is anyone here who wants to speak,
It's red.
I know, but she's not sure if it's supposed to be red or green.
Oh, I don't know.
well, if there's anybody out there anyway, but
Does it? Can you read
There's
the
someone
thing?
joined. I don't know if they can hear
someone
us.
did.
Whoever JS is.
Okay. Well, hopefully, if they cannot hear, hopefully they would let us know that they cannot hear, but the light is on. So I think the mic is on. So anyone, after you tell us what you want to do, anyone who wants to speak in favor can do that. Anyone who wants to speak against, can do that, then we'll come back to you again for any additional information. Similarly, we'll go back around to those in favor and those opposed. The select, people in the select, not select, sorry. The board, the zoning board can ask questions at any time. And then once we're done, with that portion, that'll be the end of the hearing. We can't receive any more information at that point. Then we'll try and reach deliberation about, your request.
Thank you.
That's kind of it in a nutshell.
A little bit nervous about it, but looking forward to it.
Sorry?
Said a little bit nervous about it, but looking forward to it.
We're fairly friendly.
Cool. So about 6 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Time flies. We came to you guys and asked whether we can build the cabin. And we got zoning board approval for it, and then we went off and we built this little cabin. And it's basically 6 years ago. My daughter was a teenager, and she only talked to Dad when under duress. But we built the cabin together, and it came out really, really beautiful. It's and I brought a couple of pictures with, so you guys can see sort of what the cabin looks like. Sorry about that. It's a little dome, basically cabin, just in the middle of the woods, in sort of off the main road. Nobody can. It's sort of our property itself. Our house is pretty far off the road, and now she's gone off to college and.
Just finished second year.
Yeah.
She's finished second year, so at this point we would like to use it for basically an Airbnb, and we actually by accident did it a little bit towards the end of last year. We didn't know that we needed special permission for it, so we did it, and it's good.
It's a lot of work, but it's good.
Yeah, it sort of gives us sort of a chance, because we're isolated in the woods, to have interaction with other people on a regular basis, and it's a lot of work, but it's a good activity to have.
Helps fund my college.
Yes,
And-
self-funds college.
Self-funds college a little bit.
I will run it all by myself, doing everything. We won't have other people coming and working there, no, it's just us. And I will offer a breakfast if they're up for it. They can let me know if they want the breakfast. And we promote Canterbury, we can promote nature, quietness. I'm a very light sleeper, it needs to be quiet. So I have a list of all the Canterbury businesses in there, and I would like to add more if I can. Akabara Orchards, the Fox Country Smokehouse, the Ale Works, Shaker Village, North Family Farm Maple Products. We actually buy their stuff and we give them candy on the bed. That's what we did in the fall when we ran it. So I would like to start that up again. Appleview Orchards, the country store, hopefully that will be coming up and running again. Brookford Farm, Sanborn Mills Farm, Miles Smith Farm, and then Gunstock Mountain for everything all the year. If there's more I can add, I would love to. We really like to promote Canterbury and the vicinity around it, not necessarily the White Mountains, just the area. And we have found that when we did it in the fall, before we got the letter and we stopped it totally, that a lot of people out of Boston would like to come and just relax. They just hang out and relax and enjoy Canterbury. And I really think that's something that Canterbury can run for.
Yeah, we think it's good for the town
Yes.
businesses to get a little bit of foot traffic, and the cabin only sleeps 2 people, so it's not a inrush of lots of people at all.
Just adults, we don't do kids.
Just adults. Good. I think that's all we've got.
So, Jen, you may have said that I didn't hear, but how large is the lot, and is it kind of in the center of the lot, or how far is it from a property boundary?
It is pretty close, so it's within whatever offset distance is required by the town of the property limit, but the property is about 27 acres. Something like that, approximately.
Yes. Plus,
And the place itself is probably about, I don't know, 750 yards away from the road. So it's the property is basically a sort of conservation land.
Okay.
Or it's not conservation land. What do you call it? It's non-buildable land.
In use.
Common use land, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so none of the neighbors can see the cabin, none of it's not close to anybody's house. Within, and I'm guessing, but probably not closer than 1,000 yards away from anybody's house.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
from the neighbors' houses. If you guys want to, I can pull up the Google Maps for it, but
No, I think that's probably.
But it's far away. From
Yeah, you come down our driveway, you park where we park, whatever, and then there's a little trail to the cabin that's 250 yards from the house, feet or whatever from the
Yeah,
house.
it's like 250 feet.
Feet.
To 200
yeah.
feet, yeah,
From
from
the
our
house,
house, yeah.
So you won't be making no additional driveways or.
No, nothing additional, nothing.
Just using the existing space.
Yes.
Just using existing space.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
basically have to walk into the cabin because you
Yeah,
can't drive.
we won't let them drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The little hill down to the cabin's just a touch too steep. We don't want people driving down
Plus,
there.
there's no turnaround space.
Yeah.
there's no
And
time.
that-
I mean, you guys can sort of see a little bit if you look at this picture. You can see sort of what it's literally just big enough for me to get my pickup down when we were building the cabin.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
then
size.
back up.
Back up. Yeah, that's the size of the.
But it's just a walking trail.
Is it electricity or no electricity?
Yes.
There's electricity?
There is electricity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hooked up to the house's electricity and
Yeah.
septic and.
And so have you had the inspection by the fire department and the building
Yes.
code?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We had them inspected.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, they were happy with it.
Yeah, they should have signed the paper. I'm pretty
I
sure.
It's in the package list.
Yeah, it should be there.
How come you don't allow children? Just curious.
Just because there isn't really enough space in the cabin itself. There's only the main space, which is big enough for a queen bed, and
We also
It's
have a wood
also-
stove in there,
yeah.
Yes.
and As much as what I trust Canterbury people's kids with wood stove, I do not trust Boston people's kids
No.
with wood stove.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
it's sort of if we're bringing strangers, it's sort of we want to make sure that
Very, very
there's
safe.
that they're very safe.
Is this gonna be open all year round?
Mostly for the fall, winter, and spring, when I'm not there.
Yes.
If we do want to keep it open in summer, it will be when I'm down elsewhere working. Because this is mostly a thing to have be going on while I'm in school and not living in the cabin myself. Mom and dad do all of the like regulations for when people check in and check out. And they talk with the people before they can actually book a specific time, both to vet the time that they want to come and see if it works with their schedules, and also just to see like who are these people exactly, you know?
Yeah, I like to see a little bit.
Yeah, because it's sort
I
of
would like to do that.
because it's relatively close to our house, and it's sort of we value the peace and quiet of Canterbury. We sort of don't want just anybody showing up, so we're a little bit selective.
So you kind of do a little pre-screening.
We do a
Yes.
little bit of pre-screening, yeah, and it's a little bit the advantage of Airbnb. You can basically you can see the people that is
Yeah, you can read their reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
read their reviews. Yeah.
And you wouldn't be having someone there longer than 30 days, right?
No, this is short than like 2-3 days.
3 days. Yeah.
Right, just comparing it to the definition.
No.
Just the definition in the ordinance, that's all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Definitely.
No, we don't like having people there too long at a time, because it's a little bit also, and this is maybe just me, but after 3 days in the woods, people tend to be bored, and bored people doesn't
Get into trouble.
get themselves in
Yeah.
trouble. Yeah.
Is there anyone here that wishes to speak in favor or against? All right. Any more questions from board members?
I think they've gotta go through that criteria for it.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think they probably should have to.
They should, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't have that with you, we have the application that has the
Right.
criteria in it, so
Yes.
that you filled out, so we can give
Yes.
that,
Right.
if you don't have a copy.
I never made a copy after we filled it out, so I don't have what we wrote there, but I did print out the question.
I did,
You did?
I did write my own answers to the questions, but I don't know how much they align with them. I found the paper and I filled it out.
I did print it out, yes.
Yeah.
So you guys want to sort of just go through the questions again?
Yes.
Oh, okay, alright.
You wanna look at mine? Let me know if you can't read my handwriting.
I hope you can remember what you wrote.
Well, at my age, that's getting sketchy. We'll give it a try.
You can also pull the application right up online, so it's
Oh.
on the town website.
Oh,
It
okay.
is on the town website, so I can cheat. I can look at my old answer.
Okay, alright.
We have it here,
Yeah.
if
If you don't mind, if I can, because I sort of, I mean, I can go
It
through
was
what
my
I.
fault, I didn't make a copy and sorry, these chairs are, thank you, yes, very loud.
Sorry.
So you guys wanna just start at the top of page 2?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so granting this permit would be in public interest, and because we're actively promoting Canterbury, Canterbury businesses and family farms, increasing tourism to the local area, and allowing family or the local businesses to get a little bit more activity. Describe how the proposed would not adversely affect property values in the district. It's an architecturally unique cabin. I think it's something that is unique. It's got a unique story to it. Basically it's beautiful. I think it fits in with sort of the unique character of Canterbury, with unique people and places. And it encouraged people to explore sort of the history and the nature around Canterbury. The specific site is in appropriate location for the proposed use. I think the site is far removed from any other residence, not close to any shared resources for the town, and it's secluded. I don't think it impacts any of the other residents in Canterbury in any way negatively. That the proposed use would not adversely affect the safety of the residents and others in the area and would not be detrimental to the use or development of adjacent neighbouring properties. Again, I said the cabin is removed far removed from any neighbouring residents. It doesn't contain anything that's detrimental, I think, to either the neighbours or to the town, and it's situated in such a way that it also, I don't think, even is a negative impact on wildlife or any of the other natural activities. The proposed use would not constitute a nuisance because of offensive noise, vibration, smoke, dust, odour, heat, glare, or unsightliness. It's a very artistic little cabin. I don't think it's negative in any of those, in none of the activities that we allow or propose to allow in the cabin would I think incur anything of that. The granting of the permit would be in the spirit of the ordinance. It encouraged more visitors to experience the peaceful nature of Canterbury. It exposes them to great places to visit in town, and I listed a bunch of places, and we also provide sort of the fresh produce that we supply to the people in the cabin. Basically, we source out of the farms and the local. The proposed use would not be constitute a hazard because of traffic or hazardous materials or any other conditions, and I said, except for the owners, there's nothing hazardous on the property.
Yes.
So natural resources supplement, landscaping and development are compatible with existing development. It's a small footprint and cabin with low environmental impact. And the proposed use be planned and orientated to respect natural features, solar access, scenic vistas, and natural drainage. The building was designed sort of by my daughter to sort of really fit in well with the natural landscape. It's just by its color and size and shape is well camouflaged in the natural landscape, so it's not sticking out at all.
I also angled the windows to face the western sunset, so you get a lot of really nice evening light, particularly in the living room, and it really heats up very nicely, and I enjoy it quite a lot.
So access ways and provision for motor vehicles is planned to minimize their impact. So we're basically just using the existing driveway and the existing parking that's on the property currently already. And I think that's all the questions, I believe.
Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome.
Good.
So we did have some people come in. Does anyone come in to speak in favor or against the current special exception? Okay. We'll close the, unless there are any further questions from the board members. We'll close the hearing and reach a decision.
Awesome.
Does anyone have any concerns? Thank you. Well, I don't either. So I'm looking for a motion. Does anyone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, I think we still,
Who's doing this, who's making the motion?
I think we do need to go through as well.
I think we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want their cheat sheet, or do you can just go through the conditions again for the board?
Either way, I don't have the conditions in front of me. We don't have his, but that's it. We'll be able to throw them out.
Yeah, it's so straightforward in this.
Yeah. Make a motion based on the granting this permit would be in the public interest.
Can you speak up? Yes.
The granting the permit would be in the public interest, so I have to cite a reason why it would be in each one case.
Yes.
Seems to be a nice addition to the town. It's well set and it's in the property. That the proposed use would not adversely affect the property values in the district. This is far offset of any boundaries, not within sight lines of any adjacent properties, and seems to fit well again in the natural landscape. That the specific site is an appropriate location for the proposed. I would cite the previous reasons in number 2. That the proposed use would not adversely affect the health and safety of the residents and others in the area, and not be detrimental to the use or development of adjacent or neighboring properties. Again, this is, it fits in well with the property and surroundings and the natural resources that are there. That the proposed use would not constitute a nuisance because of the offensive noise, vibration, smoke, dust, odors, heat, glare, or unsightliness. I don't think there's anything in this use that could qualify for any of those nuisances. The granting of the permit would be in the spirit of the ordinance. I don't think there's any doubt that it would be. That the proposed use would not constitute a hazard because of traffic, hazardous materials, or other conditions. There's been inspections, obviously it's minimal traffic and the parking situation is set, so I see no reason for that either. Based on either motion to approve.
I think you just need to go through the natural resource points as well.
In addition to the general conditions of special exception under Article 8.2 in the natural resource zone, the zoning board of adjustment shall also require that landscaping development to be compatible with existing development. Quite obviously it is. Proposed uses be planned and oriented to respect natural features, solar access, scenic vistas, and natural drainage areas. I think all of this has come into play in their planning, design, and building of this property. Access ways and provisions for motor vehicles be planned to minimize their impact. I think we've gone over that more than once. I think we're all set there.
Someone a second?
I'll second.
There's a second, all right. All in favor of approval? Aye.
Hi.
And contrary-minded? All right, so
thank
passes,
you.
there's a 30-day appeals period, where someone could come in and appeal it, but seems pretty unlikely, but that can happen.
Okay,
Just have to advise you that.
thank you.
All right?
Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
coming in.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you for
you,
your time.
appreciate it.
Good night.
Oh, I work on the new, I have marked in the old.
I don't know if you did or didn't. I'm gonna include it in the minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
You ready to roll? Oh, I guess not.
Hang on.
Set decks open, what am I saying?
Stand by for
Not paying
liftoff.
any attention.
No shortcuts. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, zoning board hearing 2024-25, May 27, 2026. Beam me up, Scotty.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do minutes.
Yeah,
Okay, go.
so we have a few minutes before the next hearing starts, if there are, if we have a lot of comments, then we may not be able to accomplish it, but let's give it a try. Are there any comments on the minutes from the last meeting?
I don't.
I was not here.
Okay. So
I'll make a
we'll-
motion to approve.
So Lisa, you'll need to vote on that.
Yeah, Webb,
Make a motion.
Motion to approve,
Second.
all in favor of approval of minutes?
Aye.
Alright. Well, now we've got 4 minutes to wait.
While we're waiting, do you want me to pass around, I brought some plans that show the old and the new location of the sign, also some drawings of the sign.
You could distribute them that way, yeah, we could be ready to go. Thank you.
Do you want the wording from the planning board in 1981 in front of you, do you need that?
Yeah, do you have it?
I brought everything, I
don't
got
really-
it all here.
I don't know that I really need to do it because we're here and having there. I can,
But it was already approved. By the planning board, not by us, but the planning
we're
board.
waiting for.
Okay, fine. Then I'm just
But
gonna
I'd rather
give
not.
you all this stuff, thank you so much. You can have that and do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
You guys like a copy of
Special exception.
There were two, they had a variance and a special exception.
Oh,
Originally, because I'm noticing for this, it's a continuance of a special exception approval.
okay.
I can get you up to speed on the procedural.
That would be great.
We passed around a copy of a plan showing the sign, I don't know if you guys here for that or want to see it.
He's one of those hurry things.
Alright, well, it's 7:30, so we can get started. We're to hear case number 2024-5, is that being considered a continuation? Special exception, request involves tax map 248, lot 16, located at 125 West Road, currently, it's located in the commercial zone. The request involves the illumination of signage for the Gulf Gasoline Company. And you may recall we had approved changes to the site, there was a canopy and a sign back last year. Apparently the applicant was unable to do the requirements by, I think it was the electrical utility not able to place the sign where we had approved it. So there was a question as to whether or not moving it would require a further hearing. And I think we had agreed as a board that the moving of the sign that wasn't illuminated was generally considered to be such a minor thing that we didn't think that hearing was necessary, but out of I guess the concern for the abutters' ability to comment on it and be aware of it, we thought if it was an illuminated sign, then we may want to hear that. And what has been brought to my attention, go into this in further depth, that potentially they may not need to have us provide a special exception for this additional location with the illuminated sign, based on a prior planning board, a condition of a planning board approval that was done quite a while ago. And we've reached out to the town's attorney for an opinion on that. We still don't have a final opinion from them, but just to keep the process moving forward, we decided we would hear it tonight. And if we find out that it isn't necessary, well, then, at least you're in a good position, it would have been a good position if you needed it. If they need it, then we've already gone through the process of approval and they can move forward, preserve it, just to keep their project moving forward. So that's our intent. With that, I'll let you speak. I think you know the process, that you'll present your information to the board. We'll go to people in favor and opposed, back to you for additional comments, around again, and then close the hearing. So.
Great, sounds good, thank you. John Arnold from Orem, I represent the applicant. And yeah, that was a pretty good overview of what happened last summer. I think it was in June. We came in front of the board seeking a few different forms of relief, but as they relate to the pylon sign, we asked for a variance to allow internal illumination. It was granted, and we asked for a special exception to allow the sign to be more than 10 feet tall. The ordinance allows it to be 10, we asked for 20, that was approved. The request that we made in the application wasn't really for a specific location for the sign, but we did represent to the board that it was gonna go in roughly the same location as the existing sign, which is on, I think, the eastern corner of the property. You've got a plan I passed around that shows where it is. When we went to install the sign, Eversource told us we couldn't put it there, it was too close to the power lines. So we wanted to move it down to the west side of the property, where it abuts the on-ramp for the highway. I don't think that move in and of itself requires any new relief from the board. It's my personal legal opinion. I think the relief that was granted by the board was to allow internal illumination for all the signage on the site and to allow a freestanding sign that's 20 feet tall. The sign that we're proposing now is no different than the sign we proposed before. The drawings that I passed out to you guys are the same set of drawings that I submitted to you when we were here last summer. So the sign is identical. It's just moving from the eastern corner of the property to the western corner of the property because it can't be installed in proximity to the power lines that are there. But again, for the sake of transparency and an abundance of caution, when we were notified by Eversource that we couldn't put the sign where it was initially proposed, I reached out to the building inspector and said, hey, we need to move the sign down here. Can you let me know whether the zoning board wants to see this again? And that's why, the engineer came in last month or a couple months ago, gave an overview, and why you asked us to come back, tonight. And I understand that town council's looking at whether any relief is necessary, and that's fine with me. I asked still to be able to come in tonight because they're eager to get this sign going and keep working on the site. So we didn't wanna miss another month if, we didn't come tonight, and the town attorney said, yeah, you've gotta come in. But I would say I'm not intending to waive that issue by proceeding tonight. I still think if, you know, hopefully not, but if the board said tonight, no, we're not gonna acknowledge this move, or we're not gonna say it's okay, I'd still intend to, pursue the argument that the relief isn't necessary in the first place. So anyways, that's the background, that's why we're doing what we're doing. I think that out of an abundance of caution, as I said, what I'm really asking the board to do tonight is either say that acknowledge that we're moving the sign and it doesn't need any new relief from the zoning board, which I understand you may not be comfortable to do tonight without town council advice. But alternatively to say that the variance and special exception are essentially reissued or still apply to this sign in the new location. And the applications that I submitted last summer for both of those requests are no different. I asked if I should resubmit them, and I didn't get direction on that, but I haven't formally resubmitted anything. If I resubmitted something, it would be the exact same applications because all the arguments are identical, whether the sign's located on the eastern corner of the property or the western corner of the property. Visually, as you know, and I think this is why you wanted to have the hearing, there is a difference between where the sign is on the east and the west, and the question was whether it will impact abutters any differently. It looks like some folks are here, so they can certainly speak to that. My argument would be that it really doesn't. I think that the new sign location is right next to the highway on-ramp. It's adjacent to the park and ride. There's already pretty bright lighting down there in terms of street lighting, and I think a lot of headlights from the park and ride. The residence that's kind of not even directly across the street from the sign, it's kind of kitty cornered towards the highway, has a decent amount of vegetation between it and the road. And the testimony at the last hearing from the residents there was that they welcomed having additional lighting from the sign, and they didn't find it obtrusive as proposed. I thought I would do maybe just a brief, sentence or two to refresh your memory on what the arguments I had for the internal illumination on the variance from last summer were, if that would be helpful.
Yeah, it would, and just, I think, we've discussed this, and I think probably covered it in the introduction, but yeah, I think, because the location had changed relative to the original application, and it was illuminated, the board felt that it was important to give abutters the opportunity to voice their opinions. That was really the only reason that we saw to have this reopen this issue.
Okay, makes sense to me. So just to refresh, on the internal illumination, on the first two criteria, the public interest and the spirit of the ordinance, having internal illumination here, what you look at under those criteria, as you know, is whether the variance would alter the essential character of the locality or whether it would threaten public safety, health, or welfare. And so the argument under both of those criteria is that internal illumination here is not going to change the character of the locality. There's been internally illuminated signs there through the duration of the gas station in recent years until it closed. And so the new sign that's going up is going to be a lot like the old sign that was there in terms of impact. There won't be any threat to public safety, health, or welfare. Again, it's very similar to what has been there. The property is adjacent to the DOT shed on one side, the highway on the other side. The residences across the street are pretty well screened. On substantial justice, the balancing test about whether a variance would harm the public more than it would benefit the applicant. Really don't see any public harm here. I think there's public benefit that we articulated last time around to make signage visible to motorists and easily identifiable from a branding perspective. Golf is the station that's going to be operating down there, and their signage is pretty uniform between their sites, it's important for them to have, well-lit, consistent signage between their sites to be able to attract customers who recognize their branding. So that's the benefit to the applicant, and I don't believe there's harm to the public. On property values, again, there's a previously existing gas station there that had internally illuminated signage, had a pylon sign that was pretty similar height to the new sign that's going out there anyways. Given the proximity to the highway, the on-ramp, the park and ride, the DOT shed, and the screening, the natural vegetation for the residences across the street, I don't think that putting the sign back up is gonna have any detrimental effect, especially when you consider that the site is vacant right now, and it's been vacant for quite some time and in a state of disrepair. I think having an active business back there that's, maintained and look nice, will be a good thing for the area. And on the hardship, so the property is unique for a lot of the reasons I've already stated. It's in proximity to the DOT shed and the park and ride and the highway. It's really in a section of town where the concerns about internal illumination or, large or tall signs don't really apply the same way. If we were talking about, some of the more rural parts of town, center of town, Shaker Village area, things like that, I think there'd be a stronger argument to make that, yeah, we don't want internal illumination here, we don't want taller signs. But given where the property is located, I think those concerns really have much less applicability or serve much less purpose than they would in other locations in the town. Given the fact, again, that, similar signage has existed there for many years, I think this is a reasonable use and a reasonable ask. Trying to think if I wanted to say anything else. Are there any questions you guys have about any of that?
This is going to where there was a sign there previously?
So, if you guys are driven by the site at all, the sign's actually up right now. So you can see where it is going. The pylon sign where it existed on the site previously was on the far corner of the property away from the highway. Where it's going right now, there was a freestanding sign, it was like a railroad crossing sign. I don't believe that was illuminated, if it was, it certainly wasn't internally illuminated. But there was that freestanding sign there that has been removed, and this sign's roughly in that location.
So he's talking about this one right here, which I think we all remember. I looked at too. So this is going like a little further back, so it'll be further away from the.
Yeah, I think it's about 10 feet further back from the edge of the road than where the existing sign is. On the other corner of the property, so.
Any further questions this moment from the board?
No, I mean, our biggest concern was, there was some uncertainty whether that was gonna be illuminated internally or not. So if it was gonna be, we wanted the butters to have a chance to speak up, if it was a concern.
And I just wanted to clarify, and I think I made the point very clear by now, but the sign was always, before we came in, it was internally illuminated, the prior sign, and when we came in last time, we intended and proposed for it to be internally illuminated at that point, and that's what the board granted. So no change in terms of the illumination or the size or anything in the sign, it's just moving to a different corner.
Right. Yep. So anyone here wants to speak in favor of this? Yes, come up and say your name, please.
Harold French, I live at 118 West Road, and I came for more of a request of the owners, possibly consider shutting it off when you're not open. That's pretty busy, it's not busy, it's busy at night when people are coming off the highway looking for gas and it's not there. If they could, I'd appreciate it. I don't object to the sign, I think it looks fine and it's gotta be illuminated in order for people to see it off the highway, so off business hours would be great if they could shut it off.
And I remember there was some discussion about that at the last hearing as well, and I'm certainly happy to make that request. I don't know offhand what their plan is for operating hours or what type of illumination they have when they are closed, but I respect that concern and request, and I'm happy to pass that along.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak in favor?
Well, we're definitely in favor.
Heather Casabah, 130 West Road. I'm definitely in favor of the illumination, I was last time too. Cause the external would, I know you've been there, there's much less vegetation now. Yeah, it's a little less. So, but yeah, definitely internal would be better than external, cause I know one of those lights in an external illumination would go right into my bedroom window. I don't want that.
Anyone else speaking in favor? Anyone wish to speak in opposition? All right, back to the applicant then, or the representative of the applicant.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add unless you want anything else from me. I think I said before, but for purposes of the record, you know, you have the materials I passed out. I would just like to reference the prior applications and incorporate them into this. As I said, everything is the same. So in addition to the remarks I made today, that's my only comment.
Okay. And again, if anyone wishes to speak in favor or in opposition, sounds like everyone has had a chance to speak. So at this point, I'll close unless anyone on the board has further questions, I'll close the hearing and reach a decision. And my only concern is with the abutters, and they all seem in favor, so I don't see any problem with this at all.
So are we able to make a decision before we hear from
We
Tom?
can, and
And
yeah, I mean, I think one possibility is that the town's attorney would say that they don't need to come before the board.
okay,
In which case, well, you know, what we've done is not necessary, and we're just reaffirming the previous decision with this additional location, and I don't see there's any harm
I
in
just wanna
that.
know how to word this, yeah, thank you, yeah.
I don't see harm in that. The other alternative would be that they said they needed to, in which case we've addressed that
Thank you.
as well.
Yeah.
You know, if there's anything else that they have, I mean, I think we have no idea. But we'll find out, and I'm sure it'll be communicated, to you. Well, I guess this is a new one for me, because we're not really making, I guess there is a change. How are we doing, is this actually a full special, approval of a special exception? Not sure what your opinion would be, if that, ask you, if you have an opinion, what?
It's a rehearing of an already hearing that we had.
Right.
And our big, like I think what you stated earlier, it was just because of the illumination. And I think it was more for the public to come in and for us to listen. And he has everything else in order.
Well, illumination as a result of relocation.
Right.
Yeah, it was previously illuminated, it was just, it was not consistent with the original, the information we provided at the original hearing. There's been a change to that, so I mean, we certainly could vote, I don't know what I'd say, because we don't have actually a new application in front of us, it's the old one from the 2024. I don't know if we could just vote to, that the relocated, the new location of the sign is approved, consistent with the approval, of the 2024-5 special exception, something like that. I don't know if that.
Yeah, I was thinking something along those lines, just in the effort to be thorough here I think you could, even though there aren't new applications submitted, as you said, this is somewhat like a rehearing. I've supplemented the record with a new plan that you didn't have last time that shows the location of the new sign. So I think you could make a decision based on the same application that I submitted before, using the same criteria to essentially grant a variance and a variance for the internal illumination and a special exception for the height as previously presented and as updated with the new site plan.
To the new location.
Right.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Can I vote too?
Yeah, you can vote. But, yeah, so I guess, all right, do we have the case number for it'd be good to cite the case number for the variance as well as the special exception.
It's the same case.
Oh, it's the same case number.
They had a special exception and a
Under the
variance
same case number.
within the case, yeah.
Alright, so, Well, could you make a motion along those lines?
I'll make a motion that we approve, case number is 2025-5,
2024
2024-5. For the variance and special exception for the illumination of the sign, that this deals with the relocation of that sign with the previous approved special exception and variance.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Before you vote on it, can I just clarify that it looks like the variance had a different case number, it looks like it was 2025-3.
Well, that makes sense, yeah, but it'd be 2024, I wonder why that's on
You
here.
came in before?
There's two, it looks like there's a different case number for each one.
Thank you for that.
3 and
Yeah.
5?
So I was here when we talked about the illumination and I haven't been here that long, so that's why I was surprised it said 2024.
Yeah, I was surprised when I read it out there, so do you have those numbers?
I have the minutes from the variance that reference it as 2025-3. But I suspect that there was a different case number for the special exception application, which may have been the 2024-5. They were heard at the same time, but there were
Because
other,
they came in differently?
I'm not sure, there were other applications we submitted before we came in for the signage anyways.
Okay.
We came in initially to get
Okay.
approval for the gas station itself, so it may have had a 2024 date
Maybe that was,
based on the initial submittal.
yeah,
Okay. I can't sort it out right now, but I
okay,
can later,
okay.
so.
I think I think we all do understand that these were the
Variance and a special
related to the sign,
Right,
that were granted in 2025.
yep.
And so we'll amend that,
Yep,
I do have a notice of decision, case number 2024-5, special exception and variances.
yeah,
That was dated 23rd of October 2024 and the 11th of December 2024.
I think those were the approvals for the gas station itself. And then after you approved those, we came back in the summer of 2025 when the signage plan got put together.
Okay.
yeah, I think that's right.
okay,
It definitely was in 2025.
Yeah, so the 2025-3 I have right here, I know that's the number for the variance that was granted for the internal illumination. I suspect there's probably another 2025 number for the special exception relating to the height.
I would think there's another one.
okay,
I don't think we use the same number for,
okay, I'll look for it, sorry if there's a box, I'll correct it.
no,
Yeah.
that's fine. I think we all understand what we're approving.
Yeah.
So I think we're good there.
Just fill in the correct numbers.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank, so. All right, so, I think we had a second, we're about to vote, so all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? So really appreciate you coming out, and again, it was really just to give folks an opportunity to express their concerns, which they don't have, which is great. So,
Yeah, thanks for your patience, I appreciate it.
Thank you for all the material.
All right.
yes. Well, three items. So, oh, we're offline.
I'm next.
I don't
I have to
know where we had
dig
it
into this, yep.
somehow, but we'll get it sorted.
2024, 5 is a special exception. Well, I won't waste our time looking for that, I'll do it on my own.
Okay.
Hang on a sec, let me get us onto the meeting.
Yeah. This is my copy. It's not good at all.
Air conditioning.
Oh, it's nice and cold,
It's a bad condition.
it's great for me,
He was also.
I'm sitting in front of it.
Okay, I have some printed out copies of
Oh,
these
good.
when I scribbled.
Do you have a copy? Along here.
I don't think so, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm putting us back on. Are you back with us?
You wanna be gentlemen, we
We're
only
gonna,
have
we're
one
gonna
more.
start our meeting.
Alright,
If anyone wants a copy of the bylaw draft, I've got copies to you.
Are there supposed to be people's tax bills on the back of this?
No,
Yes,
oh, that's something else I was thinking of, there's something else I was
this
thinking of.
is scrap paper, and tax bills are public information. We had a bunch of them misprinted, so
Oh.
I've been using them as scrap paper for,
Does that seem like a good idea?
it's public information.
You can look this up online anytime you want.
suppose.
Anything about anybody's tax
Oh,
information.
I know
Sure.
that, but, no, and I'm sorry, I was thinking when there was something else that needed to be redacted from something that we had recently, I don't remember what it was.
That was a check.
It was a check, yeah. But, oh, well, anyway. I don't think it's better, good to, well, it is easily accessible to anybody who wants it, so. Anyways, so we've got,
Do you, either of you want one to follow the bouncing ball?
sure.
Okay.
so thanks, a huge thanks to Cal for preparing these draft, bylaws for our board. And I guess we have a couple meetings that we'll have to review them. I guess there's a requirement that we actually have 2 meetings prior to the meeting in which we actually vote on these. So I don't know, has everyone had a chance to read through them? I've skimmed through most of it. But
Yeah,
I'd have to spend,
a little bit more time.
I was hoping tonight we might, maybe spend another half an hour and work through them, just one at a time,
Sure.
and then we stop at a point, and then we pick it up on the next meeting.
Alright,
And hopefully we don't have 2 hearings on the next meeting, and we can get through all the rest of it.
yeah.
Does that sound good to you, Kat? Right. So, everyone's got a copy here. This is just our sign-off page on the first page, so that's pretty straightforward. And then the authority, and that's being adopted under the RSA, well, I wanna run through these, but, too fast. I have read through these ones, that's all seem to make sense to me. In terms of the authority, we can amend them by a majority, vote of the board.
Are these the current ones, or have there been changes made to it?
We don't
as
have any.
proposed? Oh, we
So
don't have
these-
any at all,
These, yeah,
okay.
we've been, we've had, it's
Somewhere,
somewhere there's something.
there were
Yeah.
bylaws for the zoning board. But it's a distinct possibility that the squirrels ate it when they were stored upstairs in the old Sam Lake House building. Cause I couldn't find anything anywhere, and I pretty much have everything that's ours. And what I don't have, I can't speak for the squirrels. Just can't. It's not fun.
I think the amendment part is pretty straightforward procedural stuff, as is the waiver. And if people, we can read through these and go back to these items too next time. I'm not suggesting that we close off anything until we actually vote. Even then, we can amend. So, and then, we go through the membership and organization. And these are all straightforward and what we've been operating under.
I think we gotta adjust some of the board members,
To get that sequence,
Yeah,
that's probably true.
right, we were talking about that last time.
Do you have the list of, okay,
At
Yeah,
home,
okay.
I'll bring it.
Bring it next time and we can compare and make sure I don't know how we would adjust it.
Next time somebody needs to get appointed, I'll just adjust it so that it starts lining up, so like if we need to, the next person can be just for 1 year.
Okay, so
To
you can
get
give
them on
someone,
the 3-year schedule.
just stagger it.
yeah, and it could,
Yeah.
if it's a renewal of someone, that just means we'd renew the next following year or second year as opposed to third year.
Yeah.
right,
So that makes sense.
I have a question, so on page 3, it says the Board of Selectmen may also appoint members without consultation with the Board of Adjustment. Can you just provide me like a scenario in which that would be the case? Cause I don't understand why they would appoint someone if the board wants to appoint them, they have to come attend a meeting first, they have to be recommended, then it goes to the, so I'm just confused as what type of situation would result in that.
A vacancy?
I guess it's kind of a just in case, like I guess if there was a vacancy that needed to be filled immediately and like the zoning board couldn't make a quorum to like even do the meetings to
But we
figure
don't
out-
vote on it, we just, right, we say, hold on, the board to,
The board shall vote on whether or not to recommend the candidate.
oh, okay.
Is this something they universally have the authority to do? I mean, I know we all serve at the pleasure of.
Yeah, and
Um,
so I think that's like, number 4 is saying that the select board would really like the board of adjustment to be the ones deciding who's on the board of adjustment,
Yeah.
but they are the ones who have the authority to do the appointment from the RSAs, so that's what number 5 is, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, like if there was a disagreement over membership, then,
We'd all quit.
well, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that actually happening, 'cause
No, I don't
that
either.
would just be awful, but
But yeah, I mean, as I said, my understanding has always been since starting on it that we all serve at the pleasure of the select board, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense that they would have that available.
So it's not like if there's 5 full people, the selectman could say, no, I'm gonna appoint so and so to it as well. So they wouldn't be able to appoint additional members.
they could appoint an alternate,
Alternate,
but they couldn't like say, oh, now it's the 7-person board.
Okay.
Seems like a.
And they couldn't say like
something-
Jim's out,
Yeah.
Cal's in.
I mean, they
I'll go.
Well, I'm just, it's an example.
They probably could if they had reason to, cause it's an appointed position, so like if somebody, I don't know, did something really bad, then they could be like, okay, this is justifiable, we need to remove that person. Otherwise, like, they would probably just wait till that person's appointment is up naturally and they would say like,
We're not renewing it.
we're not renewing.
But if you had to remove someone, we have alternates for that, partly for that reason. And so depends on how, if I could see certainly if we did not have a full slate for voting members and alternates, and we were doing nothing as a board to address that,
Yeah,
that then certainly I could see that be a scenario where the select board might intervene and
yeah.
correct.
I think like a couple of years ago or something, there was some concern about if we were gonna have enough members. And it might have been this board or it might have been another board, but like boards like the ZBA, we're legally required to have a ZBA and we're legally required to like do the ZBA business with certain amounts of time. So like, it's not like the energy committee where it's like if they need to pause their business while they get themselves together, like that's okay, they have time to do that. Like if suddenly half of you quit and then like there was an application and the application absolutely needs to be heard within 30 days, like the select board may just need to be like, okay, we're picking 3 people and
Qualified
like
people.
we're just making sure that we have a quorum so that we aren't violating any laws because we don't have time to actually like go through the normal process of like inviting somebody to a meeting and saying like, hey, you should like attend a few meetings, see what it's like. Read some stuff,
It's kind of like a stopgap or an emergency measure, you can never add enough verbiage in here to cover all the possibilities that might happen.
Yes.
To give, to prompt them to do that.
Yeah, if you started defining it, then you're limiting it, and that can be a problem.
Here, we'll just like, you don't have to carry it.
Maybe.
Does anybody have any problem with the other items under appointment and terms? They all seem pretty simple procedural things that are consistent with what we've been doing.
Who's our vice chair? Do we have one?
Yeah.
We need name tags.
Oh yeah, do you want those, like the planning board has?
That'd be great.
I prefer a special hat.
We have gavels, if you wanna
I know.
feel really special.
Yeah, that would be great. Oh, boy.
I have some extra Harry Potter hats, I'll bring a
Oh,
couple.
boy,
Just for you.
I think that might undermine our authority. I don't know.
We already have googly guys on the microphones, so.
I know.
One thing that I might change a little bit, before you guys finally approve this is number 8, it says resignations are effective immediately. Right now, the select board is creating a resignation policy, cause the auditors asked us to. So I might just change the wording there to refer to that policy instead and just be like, resignations will comply with that policy.
So if someone is like, can't do my full term, I'm resigning in 6 months, it would be an immediate thing, where they're just trying to give us the opportunity to find a replacement?
Well, that's why this sentence wouldn't really be helpful anymore, cause the that new policy that they're writing, allows for people to say ahead of time, like, oh, I'm moving in 6 months, so like, you're gonna need to find a replacement for me by then. Or like, I'm having some health issues, like, I can make it to maybe one more meeting, but then after that, you're gonna need to replace me. NHMA doesn't actually want you to do that, because of the situation where somebody's like, I'm gonna quit in 6 months, and then they change their mind after you've already like done the work to get a new person. But the select board decided on Monday that it makes more sense to give people the opportunity to give notice.
Well, and it seems like the next sentence also kind of addresses that, although it means that you would go through the end of the town's fiscal year.
Yeah, so I might just change that to change number 8 to just refer to that other policy.
Oh, okay, altogether.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we can revisit that later, let's figure out what it would be, any questions and discussion on officers, that all also seems very straightforward, I don't know that we've been good about March votes, but if we have this in place, we'd better stick to that.
March?
It's saying in March, we would vote
Jim
for
was
the,
supposed to be re-voted on.
Well, we did just vote to do that, didn't we?
it was sometime not too long ago.
It wasn't too far, yeah,
No,
You might have done it it was either March or April.
yeah.
we did, okay.
Of last year.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the first meeting after town meeting that you would normally do it, but I think different boards have different schedules, and it's been hit or miss we've actually been pretty good the last 2 years, and like everybody's doing it before May, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in regards to participation of alternates, so the first one says at meetings of the Board of Adjustment, the chair may appoint, page 5, an alternate to fill the seat of an absent or recused member per RSA 673:11. And then it goes into all the things that alternates do, but I feel like those are as alternates, if the chair appoints someone because they need to be, then they do get to vote and make motions, etc., right? It's gonna be real awkward if you say they can't.
Yes, so that first one is, if you make an alternate a full member at the start of the meeting because you need to do that, and that person basically becomes a full member. This other
It's for
stuff is for the people who remain alternates during the meeting. So during a public hearing, alternates not so appointed, so it's an alternate who hasn't been appointed as a full member. It's just spelling out what somebody who's currently an alternate.
Well, we should probably kind of just work our way through
Oh,
it.
sorry,
as
I was
opposed to-
reading. I'm the fast reader, sorry.
That's We have a secretary, but we don't have an alternate secretary.
I think historically it's been hard enough to get secretaries, never mind alternates, we sort of fill in with each other.
I mean, in the event that you weren't unable to attend the meeting, which I've never seen ever, but if it ever happened, we'd have to do,
Yeah.
So that's something that we've been doing in the office, is when somebody, like a recording secretary for any board, needs to go away for a vacation, like a well-deserved vacation, or like is sick or something, then we've just been communicating with each other and filling in.
Oh, okay,
Cause like we're all
nice,
recording secretaries, so we're all theoretically trained to
yep,
do,
okay,
we're still working on that, like
that's
to
great.
try to make sure that we can be consistent, like I would wanna try to match Lisa's style if I was filling in.
Yeah, no, well, I think most of all of us are probably floundering around, to try and do what Lisa does, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just because we don't get together that often, so we're without a land use administrator right now. And Cal and I have talked about this, and we're all just gonna fill in the gaps to cover us all until we have another one or someone acting in that place temporarily.
So Jan actually started this morning and she's gonna be filling in for a couple weeks.
Okay,
Is that JS?
That is the JS up there. So it is still the same situation basically, that like
okay,
we're all gonna have to work together to make
Right.
sure that
yeah,
we don't drop any of the things that
Yeah.
Michelle was juggling, but we at least get Jan for a couple weeks, and then who knows, after
Okay.
that, hopefully we can find
Yeah.
a new person.
okay,
And part of why I wrote, what I wrote in the staff section is that like, it doesn't really matter who is doing which thing, it's just that these things need to get done. So I tried to make it a little flexible in this section to say like, you can trade duties as needed, and like right now, we have Jan, but like, without a long-term land use administrator, it's just people have to work together to make sure that none of the noticing and minutes and like none of the legal requirements get dropped. So that's why you'll see in a few places it says recording secretary or land use administrator.
Are we good on staff? Assuming we are then? Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
I'm sorry that my telepathy is gone. Just be able to have
If we're quiet, we're happy.
meetings, and conduct of business. Questions there or discussion there? I haven't had site visits in a long time.
Nope.
I don't remember one.
Well, I always invite you all to go see things, and I don't know that you do or don't. I
But
mean, if
that,
you wanna call a party, I'll get everybody together and we'll get a bus.
but here it's saying it's held as a continuance of a public hearing with notice given to members and the public in
Right.
attendance, so.
Yep.
That's not the drive-by.
No,
So I think if we meet as a board like that together, everybody's gotta go,
right, it's
including the
formal,
butters,
it's formal, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
including
pub,
butters.
yeah, it's a continuance of a public hearing.
We can go separately, drive around and vote.
Yeah.
That we can do.
But not two people in a car, it has to be one of us.
Yeah.
You know, any one of us can go anytime,
Right.
but not together.
I have a question on the quorum.
Yes.
So I think that one of my earlier meetings, this issue came up and it was like an appeal. And we had discussed that the original quorum of the board that was at the hearing wasn't
Sure.
the same one for the
Right.
appeal.
Mm-hmm.
is it supposed to be that way? So like if you weren't here and I alternated and then someone appeals and then you are here, but you didn't hear the first part of it, like do you have to have the same quorum
I mean, you could have an alternate who didn't vote on the first one, who was there.
here, right?
But other than that, it would have to be people who were present at the first one who were part of the continuation. You couldn't not, but you don't have to necessarily have all the voting members you had before.
Okay.
As long as you have enough voting members that were alternates at the previous meeting.
Okay, I don't know if we need
Sound
to
right?
add anything about quorums and quorums.
I don't know if there's an RSA about that.
Hmm.
I think that's definitely best practice is to try to have the same group
Correct.
of people. But was it
Not-
the ZBA who had the 3 continuances last year for that one application?
I think we did have one that had,
Cause that one, I
Yeah.
think it came up during that because there was a different quorum at each of the hearings, cause there were like three different hearings, and so at the very end, only the people who had been at all the hearings voted,
right,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
was that Chance?
Chance wasn't last year,
Oh, okay.
we didn't have
The
Chance.
one I'm talking about was a school, a new road.
Oh,
yeah,
yes, right, it's the
the
muddy
school.
road.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, the new road school,
Yeah,
Yeah, that was,
which is
that
not,
was part of it, is that,
which has not ever come to fruition.
Right.
They had health issues in the family,
oh,
so it didn't get done, which is unfortunate, yeah.
yeah, I think there we had questions about
Right.
what, you know, federal.
The school zone.
Yeah, it's the school zone.
but that is a good point. I could add a paragraph in here advising what to do if there's a continuance and just saying like, make best effort to
Have same
have the same group of people. And it's gonna have to be best effort because again, in an emergency situation where like people are leaving too fast, then like it might not physically be possible to have the same quorum, but I think that's a good,
So you're comfortable that that's not covered by an RSA, there's no,
I read like all the RSAs related to this, like every, and that's why I put all the RSAs in here,
Mhm.
because I
Yeah.
wanted to, that was a question that I had with a lot of the draft, or a lot of the policies that I read from other towns. Sometimes it's not clear if it's an RSA requirement, or if it's just this is how we do things here. So, I did read through all of the RSAs about the zoning board. But I will double check, cause it doesn't hurt to double check.
Cal, I'm thinking in that case, maybe rather than best effort and leave it open to interpretation of what best effort is, maybe when possible.
Okay, yep. I can, all these changes that we're talking about, I'll make a new draft to distribute for the next meeting for you guys to talk about. That way you can look at it again and make sure that the language makes sense.
well, that, and just jumping backward a little bit because, you know, what you were saying about reviewing the RSAs, I did notice that is something that, you know, as part of our training, we're supposed to be doing as well.
Yes, yeah, you should know the applicable RSAs. Technically, there's lots and lots and lots of applicable RSAs, but those are the ones that are most related to your
Yeah.
job, so. And did I answer your questions about the alternates?
Yes.
Okay,
When I first read it, I wondered if maybe I shouldn't have seconded those two, I shouldn't.
were you formally seated
For this, yes,
Yes.
for this? Then that was good.
I didn't realize that, I don't think I've ever heard about assigning the alternates when necessary based on alphabetical by last name.
This is something that was devised by the planning board 2 years ago, I think. Because they had a whole kerfuffle about minutes and revising minutes and alternates. Yeah, that whole thing happened at the same time. So one of their solutions, cause there were people saying that like, you have multiple alternates, but you're only ever subbing in this one person, was the accusation, and so it was like, okay, well, that's a good point, like cause they weren't really noticing who they were appointing all the time, so that this is the system they came up with, which is just, it's alphabetical by last name, and whoever is there, so like if you have one alternate there, then it's that one alternate.
Okay, it's easy.
And so, cause I think at the time too, they had like 4 alternates or something. Cause that was the year that they had like a whole bunch of planning board candidates, and then like all the candidates who lost became alternates temporarily.
It could be challenging because, you know, we go many meetings without needing to use an alternate.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
you've gotta keep track of who was alternate, was you could literally go a year or two
and we
before
only,
you actually went around
and we only
rotation.
have a small number of alternate ability options, it's Randy or me.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want, we can just get rid of that section. Like all of this is just suggestions.
Yeah.
So I would like that, cause only when I was first started,
Yeah.
like I appreciated that Lisa was the alternate so that I could learn more.
Yeah,
It was better to do it that way, so I wouldn't have wanted to immediately been like, alright, Randy, like you're up, like.
You're alphabetically in, yeah,
yeah, so we can just
Okay,
get rid of that,
yeah.
because it's unlikely to come up, and you guys can amend this, so like if it does become a problem one day, you could put it back in,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, I think if you left it in there right now, then that will prompt us to think about something we could put in maybe. I mean, we could delete it altogether.
I'll highlight it for
Yeah.
now,
Cause I do, you know, I think the spirit of it is good. You know, but
Just keeping track of it.
keeping track of it's unrealistic for us, and you know, there may be times where it makes sense and everybody agrees that one person, you know, who happens to have certain experience that might make actually a better person to be the voting member on a particular case.
yeah, and it's very rare that 2 of our members wouldn't come and 2 of our alternates need to serve. It's just an oddity that they're both not here tonight, so it very rarely happens, so I think taking it out is.
So maybe we strike it all
Except for our
together.
next meeting.
Yeah.
When everybody has to recuse themselves.
Right.
So maybe we strike it, but let me highlight it for now.
yeah, cause
Okay.
like you said, you'd have to do one more meeting after this, and then you can't approve it until the meeting after that,
Yeah.
so you got time.
So we got time. And that third, we could still do further discussion on the third meeting and then vote for it.
Yes.
You could also change it to be like, in the case of multiple alternates, in order to make it fair, you could
Yeah.
do it
I
this
mean,
way.
it could be something like, you know, a attempt should be made to and, you know, rotate through the
I could change it from
Pool.
shall to could,
Good.
Yeah.
then it's suggestions that you could always pull out if you really need to,
Yeah, may or something like that, but
yeah.
yeah, but anyway, we can, you know, I'm hoping we can all look at these more, you know, before the next one and come back to anything when we feel like we need to. Alright, so let's see, anything else under alternates? We need to have subcommittees.
Why would the chair need to identify alternates to the public in a hearing?
Because we've had situations where people aren't sure who's actually sitting and who's an alternate at certain hearings. I think it's mostly been the planning board where this has been an issue, where like, cause everybody's sitting together at the table and the people during the hearing may not know like who's actually allowed to vote. And I think the part where it really becomes confusing is when the people themselves can't remember who has or has not been appointed, and so after an hour-long hearing, at the very end, everybody votes, and then it's like, and then
Yeah.
I have to go back and be like, this person should not have voted, but it's okay because you all voted aye, but like, this person should not have voted because they were an alternate
Gotcha.
at the time.
Okay, alright,
So
thank
it's a
you.
little just
Yeah.
making sure that it's very clear who can and cannot vote.
That's good.
A lot of
I'll
this
let you
is
remember,
in
I think
case-
Joe was actually better at that than I
Yeah.
have been.
much better.
Thank you for that.
Wow.
But you've gotta make a list,
Wow.
have a little sticky.
My first meeting, you made it very clear, like you told the people, you were like, this is the alternates, like they can ask questions, but they
Yeah.
won't be voting.
Yeah, you did do, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't remember to do it every time, we just.
I need a little,
So it's-
I
yeah.
keep meaning to write a little script for myself and I have not.
Oh, cheat sheet.
Just go,
Yeah.
go from years of watching Joe do it. Alright. If we ever have a subcommittee, then that would be good to have this.
Yeah, that's definitely in case,
That's a luxury item.
yeah.
But we really don't have a lot of need for subcommittees too in this because of the nature of the board.
Right.
Do any of our boards have subcommittees?
Planning board has them all the time,
Really? Huh, okay,
I think I've seen the energy committee do it, community power committee do it,
okay,
Conservation.
conservation does it.
oh, okay,
It's for things like the ZBA really rarely would have it, because you're not making decisions on like longer things that need discussion, like this is the longest thing that needs discussion that you guys are gonna be doing this year, so you could have had a subcommittee to like write your bylaws, but I just did it for you instead of making you go through that
Yeah.
pain, so
so subcommittees are more for the purpose of research or,
yeah,
Okay.
cause they still have to bring back
okay,
their conclusions to the board at large,
Okay.
so like last year, the planning board did a wetlands setback subcommittee, cause that was one of the ordinances that they wanted to do. But instead of trying to have 15 people talk at each other and edit a document together, they sent a couple people from the planning board, a couple people from conservation, and those people sat together in a room for a couple months and drafted documents and then brought
Okay.
it back to the planning board.
okay.
So disqualification is recusing, right?
Yes.
Which is what we're gonna be doing at the next hearing.
Yes.
How, we didn't have a hearing, the next hearing then, refuses?
How many people are recusing? Cause this is the
Two,
two,
This is the store?
this is the store, so
because we're shareholders and we have a vested in, I can't, Randy can't.
anybody else?
I think we're good with everybody else, as long as everybody comes, that's why I sent out an email
Yeah,
asking that everyone report back in that they can or cannot come.
So we will need
'Cause we need
need yourself or we'll need someone to replace, no,
Lisa's an alternate. You two are alternates,
Alright.
I can't vote on that,
But can you be a secretary?
I can be the secretary, but I
Okay.
cannot be a
Right.
voting
Okay.
participant in the hearing.
Right, so it's just you have to have 3 members of the board. So if it's the same people who show up today, you would be able to do that.
No pressure.
Well, I know you're gonna be in Canada, right? Maybe?
What's the
Okay.
Hopefully. And of course, I can't vote.
Well, so,
Well, I asked Webb because Webb has been a consultant to the LLC. I don't know if that,
so that would be
you have to
something-
decide that.
Yeah,
It's up to the board, all I did was a septic design.
I don't think that
No,
I wouldn't know.
qualifies as a
no.
conflict of interest
no.
about what we're gonna hear.
In actuality, it's for the town, not specifically for the store.
Right.
but
yeah,
The
So-
store just got kind of grabbed into it, that's all.
So it would be Jim and Sean O'Brien. And Gary will be able to be here.
Okay,
Can you come? Mm-hmm.
Cause I can't vote
Okay,
if you can, it's just we need an in-person quorum. So you could attend virtually, and we would just need to make sure that there was an in-person quorum. But that's for right to know purposes, so for right to know purposes, an alternate could be considered part of the quorum. So if quorum math is kind of ridiculous, but so if you were remote at this meeting right now, the meeting could still take place because Lisa could be seated and that would be 3 people on the zoning board in person, the meeting could happen. But then when it came time for the hearing, Lisa, you would recuse yourself, but the hearing could still happen and there could still be a vote because even with you being remote. Cause it's 2 separate things going on, it's like the right to know part of it, which is do you have enough people in the room to make it a meeting? I don't know, the whole like,
but when I read the Zoom thing in my
Yeah.
homework, it said if you're attending a meeting in a Zoom, you can't vote. That's my remembrance.
a roll call, all votes are roll call, so like you can do voting via Zoom. If I wrote that wrong somewhere,
Okay,
I'd like to know,
I'm gonna go home and look it up because.
That's what I thought I read
Yeah.
in here, so,
Yeah.
I didn't think I read it that way when I was reading it outside, so it might just be how we all interpret it.
So where was it?
So like, I know,
It's
'cause-
not in here,
Oh,
it's in my, the right to know presentation you gave in one of the things you sent out.
okay, yeah, if I wrote it wrong somewhere, I wanna know
Okay,
because-
I'm gonna look for it, I'll look for
Yeah.
it, yeah. Okay,
so it is,
I wanna be clear so we don't get bollocksed up for that hearing, I want it to go well, yeah.
it is 8:30.
Yeah.
I'd set a half an hour
Okay.
when we started, are we good, or we're nearly halfway through, the page numbers anyway, so we wanna stop here.
Sure.
it's the longest CPA meeting I've ever been to.
I don't have to get up
Could be
to
longer.
3 all the time.
What? 3? Oh, that's it, we're done, he's gotta go to bed.
What's that? You gotta get to 3?
He gets up.
No, he's just going fishing.
Hey, just one fish.
Hey,
There's no
that's,
such thing as just one fish.
yeah, I tend to agree, that's someone's, enjoying
Right, that's his
recreation.
own choice, right?
Well, maybe so, but you earn your enjoyment, you should be
I
able
thought I
to.
recused myself from the balance of the meeting. This is right here, you have to depart the meeting.
I don't think that's recusing, but, you can still run away.
We haven't gone over all the bylaws.
If you guys have any other edits, like as you're reading them before the next meeting, you can email those to me. Cause if it's something like a typo, then I can just fix it before the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, until we get to that last, maybe at the end of the next meeting, maybe more so,
Yeah, cause then we'll be making the final draft.
'cause otherwise you're just iteratively making changes, doesn't seem like a good use of your time. Unless you love doing it.
Well, then we'll be done, we won't
have
have
to
to do
adjourn.
this again.
Yeah.
To
Still.
adjourn, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Lindsay's changed.
Yeah, is there a motion to adjourn?
Somebody else can make it.
Alright, I get it.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And you're gonna second it, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Alright, Cal, we gotta